As if there isn't enough stress in my life. You know, the economy is in the toilet, and, you know, unemployment, it keeps going up, and my doctor, he wants me to lose weight. And, you know, so I've been exercising, which is a real pain in the butt, but the hard part is I've been dieting. And, well, dieting is harder than dating. And, you know, you reach a certain age, like my age, and you start having better food than you have sex. And, you know, and it's like the biggest breakup I've had. You know, it's like food was good to me. You know, food treated me well. You know, pizza didn't give me the let's be friends speech. You know, chocolate didn't say, it's not you, it's me. Ice cream didn't humiliate me by standing me up at a restaurant in front of my friends while he was having sex with somebody else and then using the excuse, oh, I just assumed we were in an open relationship. So I miss food. You know, but the hardest part about being a middle-aged gay man is dating, really. I met this guy and online, and we had the best online chats, and we had, you know, the best telephone conversations, and when we met, he even looked better than his picture. I mean, how often does that happen? I just had, you know, one little problem. He just had the world's worst breath. And so we were at dinner. Well, you know, it wasn't like conditional bad breath. It wasn't like he had a garlic and onion sandwich for lunch. It was like he had systemic bad breath, you know, like the kind of bad breath a sick person has. And so I really wanted this date to work, so I said, well, what do? So I did the old, I reached into my pocket, and I pulled out a breath mint, and so I, you know, kind of like discreetly gave one to myself as if I had the problem. I just happened to have the breath mint open, so I happened to say, you know, and offered him one, and he said, oh no, is my breath bad? And I thought, well, yes. And he apologized profusely. He says, I'm really, really sorry. I like you. You're so nice. But I'm having glandular issues. So you twins over there, just think about this. So you get to a point where you're not only dating men who have commitment issues and intimacy issues, you're dating men that have glandular issues. And last week I met somebody on Adam for Adam, because I'm a masochist, and he was really hot in his pictures, and he really wanted to meet me, and he said, well, let's get together for a cup of coffee. And so I thought, okay, well, that's really cool. And then he said, and then afterwards we can come back to my place, because my wife goes to bed at 10 o'clock, and we've got a... Like, you want me to fool around on your covered porch while your wife is sleeping upstairs? What is this, 1955 Wyoming? I am not here to reenact your little Brokeback Mountain fantasy where you get off, send me home, and go back to your wife, your kids, and your Republican lifestyle. You know, this is not Iran, this is not Uganda. You know, you can come out. You know, I mean, you want my ass, middle-aged that it is, you know, it's, you know, you can have the strength to come out. You know, I've done a lot of therapy. You could at least offer me a sleazy motel room. You know, I at least deserve a sleazy motel room. Or, here's a thought, you know, we could go back to my place. You know, one of the advantages of coming out is that you could fuck who you want in your own home. Just a tip for you who are still in the closet. Both of you. And, you know, and then it doesn't even matter, like here, dating sucks everywhere. I was in London, my favorite city, and I met this really great guy in a North London jazz club, and he was like everything I like. He was tall and hairy and pale and had this like British accent, and we had this great conversation. He invited me back to his place, you know, and I got there, and he said, you know what I've always wanted to do? I said, what? He said, I've always wanted to receive a blowjob while I'm smoking a cigarette because it's just so indulgent. And I thought, wow, that sounds kind of kinky and kind of fun. So, you know, we started making out, and he lit up, and I went down, and then I pulled down his pants, and I was appalled. I mean, he was circumcised. And which left me with a real moral dilemma, because, on one hand, he was nice to me in the club, and he said he loved my sexy American tea. And he was nice, and he invited me back to his place, and, on the other hand, I had not, worked hard all year and saved up my vacation days and flown 10,000 miles to suck uncut cock. Because I could do that here in Los Angeles. So I thought about it for a while and I said, okay, so I did the gentlemanly thing and I just was on it. I blew it. Okay, and then we fucked and then, well, I ran out and had sex with somebody else. Because when you get to be my age, you become really aware that your last dick might really be your last dick. So, and luckily London is very plentiful. I tried this thing called Grindr. Some of you may have heard of it. For those of you who haven't, it's this phone application where you get all of these men with just their headshot and a 5-word bio and the amount of distance they are from you. And I guess what appalls me about it isn't the superficiality of it, it's the laziness of it. Because, it's I don't want to get in my car and drive a mile. I don't want to hop on the bus. Now, forget the guy 400 feet away. Forget the guy 200 feet away. I want the guy 50 feet away. And which I guess would be fine, but I looked at my own profile and it said I was 113 feet away from myself. That's why I was a little out of sorts of late. You know what I miss? Bring back the hanky code. See, the hanky code, but wait, hear me out. Because the hanky code had discerned advantages. First of all, when you used to wear a hanky in your back pocket, if it was the left, you were a top, if it was the right, you were a bottom, and the color of the hanky, indicated what sort of sexual activity you were into at the moment. If you had light blue, you were into oral. If you were dark blue, you were into anal. If you had yellow, you were into water sports, and if you were red, you wanted fisting. So thank you. And you had to be careful because normally these cruising places you'd go to, be it a dark bar or a park, it'd be dark and they might mistake your dark blue hanky for black, which is S&M. But anyway, so I would, but the point is, when you actually had to leave the house. Back in my day, you actually had to leave the house if you wanted to have sex. And you would go to these cruisy places and everybody there was there to have sex. They didn't waste your time. You didn't spend hours in a chat room and an instant message, and then they just kind of disappear on you. And then you had the advantage if you had something to clean up with right there. But really, I have to tell you that even porn doesn't do it for me anymore. This is a true story. I know somebody who was a porn producer in the San Fernando Valley, and he used to make several $100,000 a year producing porn, and now he sells life insurance for a living. What happened is that there's so much free stuff available on the internet that there's no market for him anymore. And I understand that because if I see a couple of muscle twinks getting it on, I just feel depressed. Whereas if I see a video with a middle-aged man with a belly, fucking a balding man with a hairy back, I think I could be in that video. See, there is still sex for me. But instead of porn, I've been watching a lot of YouTube. In particular, I've been watching these It Gets Better videos. I don't know if you were familiar with these It Gets Better videos that were started by Dan Savage, where celebrities and politicians and even the President of the United States, made a video to tell young gay youth, who were being bullied and considering suicide, they're saying, just hang in there, and as you get older, it will get better. It will get better. And these are wonderful videos. But, I've watched a lot of them and they're missing something. What they never say is, why it gets better. Well, let me give you an example. I was in the 8th grade and this bully, Don, used to, pick on me every day. One day he walked behind me and he punched me in the back. And I was filled with I can't let this happen anymore. So I got up and I pushed him across the hall, and he threw across the classroom and landed in a pile of desks, and he just looked at me shocked, and he never picked on me again. It got better. It gets better when we stand up for ourselves. You think Stonewall happened because the police all of a sudden said, you know, it's this, you know, raiding gay bars and harassing them is just wrong. You know, we're not going to do anything more. We're just going to be polite, and we're just going to allow them to meet, and there we go. That's what we're going to do from now on. No, a drag queen, you know, said, I'm sick of this shit, and threw a brick, and then a Molotov cocktail, and it lasted for 3 fucking days. That's how it gets better. So stand up for yourself.